Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to North Dakota Today. We have another Ask an Attorney segment with Mike Kuna from Kuna Law Firm PLLC. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Jillian.
So this week's question is, Dear Attorney Kuna, I want to propose to my girlfriend. However, I make significantly more than she does, and it scares me to join our finances as she is terrible with spending money and saving money. I own a home and a car collection, and she doesn't even own a vehicle. In fact, she lives with me and uses one of my vehicles for transportation. If I have a prenuptial agreement, will it help me to keep all of my money and property separate from her? Also, will it help me keep my property safe if our marriage doesn't work out? Thank you.
Okay, very long question, and the answer is going to be quite long too. I'm going to attempt and answer it in 5 minutes. However, if you actually want me to give you a proper answer, call me directly 701-404-7768. And now for prenuptial agreements. Jillian, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Jillian, how much do you make a year? 1.2 million or 2.4 million?
Yeah, ballpark, around there.
Okay. Let's imagine for a second that Jillian has a very poor boyfriend whom she really loves and wants to get married with. Jillian, would you like a prenuptial agreement?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. In that case, what is a prenuptial agreement? It's basically a contractual agreement between two spouses that has to be in writing and signed by both to be binding, and only goes into effect upon marriage itself. So even if you have a prenuptial agreement and you signed it, but you never got married, it will never go into effect. Now, one may ask, is that a really pleasant question to ask your spouse? Do you want a prenuptial agreement? I would say, as a lawyer that handles divorce cases, that 99.999% of divorces happen due to monetary issues between the spouses. Therefore, a prenuptial agreement setting forth the obligations and the privileges between the spouses might actually be beneficial for the marriage itself. Also, it can deny the state in certain instances from reaching to the spouse's pockets in cases of divorce or, God forbid, death. Now let's speak about the clauses in prenuptial agreements. What kind of clauses can prenuptial agreements contain? For example, they can contain a clause stating whether a spouse is entitled to spousal support in a case of divorce, or the access of the spouses to marital and non-marital property throughout the marriage itself, or the distribution of assets and debts upon divorce or, God forbid, death. One may ask at this point, so I have a prenuptial agreement, but will the court hold it? For example, Jillian here is quite worried because all those millions she has might not be hers at the end if her prenuptial agreement is declared invalid. However, luckily for us, we have adopted in the state of North Dakota the Unified Prenuptial Agreement Act, and that act defines what makes a prenuptial agreement not valid. First, a prenuptial agreement will not be valid if one of the spouses that signed that agreement did that not voluntarily. And also, if the prenuptial agreement is unconscionable. For example, what if during the process of getting the prenuptial agreement, one spouse hid the fact they had assets, the other spouse didn't know about their assets, or signed a financial waiver stating they don't want to know about those assets? That would make an agreement unconscionable. Also, sometimes it happens that although an agreement can be valid, some clauses in the agreement itself will not be valid. For example, a clause that states that a victim of domestic violence cannot ask for reparations for the domestic violence. However, very complicated issue, technical, specific, and has a lot of legalities. I also recommend, and I practice this in every prenuptial case that I do, that the prenuptial agreement be approved by the court, which gives it, in my opinion, more validity.
Well, a complex topic, but you explained it beautifully. Thank you,
Thank
Mike. Yeah. So if you have a legal question, you can go to our website at valleynewslive.com and click on the Ask an Attorney tab. We have lots more North Dakota Today coming up right after the break.